Well, Lana, good to see you.
You too, mate.
And when I say good to see you, as in you look good. And by that, I mean the last time I saw you was, of course, on the big screen in your movie that's just recently come out. And towards the end of it, you looked awful. In a good way, because you're meant to look awful, right?
Right, right.
I'm talking about your new movie, The Cut. How difficult a role was that for you?
Yeah. I've always wanted to sort of take the brakes off, burn the barn down, swing for the fences, however you want to call it. And when Mark Lane, who's the producer on this, brought this idea to me, we worked on a movie called Retaliation. It was originally called Bromans, actually, but it was a small British movie. We were sort of throwing ideas around, and I thought, I love the boxing world. I love the boxing genre of movies. And I thought, well, this is a really fresh take. I've never seen this, never thought of it. You know, boxers, it's called The Cut because boxers cut weight, right? And so the fight in our movie is sort of quite a intense psychic battle for this boxer who just will do anything for a second chance, you know, to come out of retirement and drop an insane amount of weight in order to get a shot at the title. And you know, it's a really it was really hard. It was really hard.
We'll
I was
get to-
angry the whole time, angry and hangry
Yeah, I could
the
see
whole
that.
time.
I could see that.
I mean, it's you know, I actually lived through and went through what the boxer does. You know, I dropped weight from 100 and I don't know, I'm about 180 pounds. I don't know how that works. So about 152 is what I got down to, which is insane.
Yeah, so you lost about 35 kilos,
Something,
right? Which
yeah.
is 2.5 stone.
Yeah, it was,
Now that's not easy to do at the best of times.
right.
I'm guessing it's more difficult to do when you're quite lean going into that role in the first place, right? Did you put on weight before the movie started?
So this was the interesting thing. In order for me to even have the brain power to be able to do, you know, what I needed to on set, we actually shot the movie in reverse chronological order.
Okay.
So when you see Boxer at the end of the movie, that was my first day of filming. And we filmed backwards from there because I came in at my lightest weight so that I looked the part. And then I basically just gorged food until we went to the beginning of the movie where you see the weight change. And for me to look, you know, for that to be a dramatic weight loss, we sort of tiered it in. And then once there was no more sort of shirt offs moments, I was just like ice creams in my shakes, you know, like, but basically I worked with a nutritionist who worked with Christian Bale, this guy, Philip Goldgier in LA, and it was recommended to me. And he was, I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing this at home, but he was doing blood work, just testing my blood. And then, you know, he tiered me down from like 3 meals a day to 2 to finally 1. And then, you know, I mean, I had like the hardest thing, the funny thing is you miss things, right? And the thing I missed the most was my protein powder. I've got this Form like protein powder that's so delicious. And I was like, not that as well.
Take anything but
the protein powder. But basically
over what period of time are we talking?
3 months.
Wow, you've done that really quickly.
And I was training throughout that. So it was like an hour of boxing training every morning, treadmill for 45 minutes, weights, treadmill at the end of the day, and then just loads of little meals.
Because there's bits in the movie where you open a Tupperware box and there's like a carrot or an apple.
Like that.
Is that
well, what I actually ate was cucumber and tuna, because cucumber's a bit like a diuretic with the cucumber, but you have to have the protein intake. So it was a lot of tuna and tuna and cucumber, which just after a while, just like spices up.
Tuna and cucumber.
Oh, thanks.
You don't want them? Let me ask, doing it in reverse, whose idea was that? Because I'm pretty sure that De Niro did that in Raging Bull. They filmed the scenes first and then...
probably it's basically the only way to do it. I was literally lying on the floor between takes, sort of get up, try and do a few press ups so I looked a little bit more buff for those moments, so there's more blood in my muscles and stuff. Because you've got to look like you know. But often when you see fighters, and I looked at some research, you know, before they do the weigh-in, you can see it in their eyes, you know, whether it's, you know, you can see they're just like,
yeah,
you know, that it's not really talked about.
I don't want to spoil the ending.
No,
right?
no.
But to lose weight, did you ever contemplate maybe shaving the hair and getting
you know, there is for the movie, we looked at a ball cap, right? So I worked with Mark Coulier, the makeup designer, and Kerry worked with him, who was my makeup artist on that. But we we broke my nose, talked to him, but Sean first said to Mark, Coulier, who's this amazing, you know, kind of prosthetic, he's like won BAFTAs and stuff, but he was like, I want to break Orlando Bloom's face. And he goes, oh, that's fun. So we talked about breaking my nose. I broke my nose playing rugby when I was a kid. So I was like, well, should we do that again?
Actually break
yeah, thought about whether we break my nose or chip my teeth and stuff. But we had a prosthetic for my nose. I had like, you know, cauliflower ears. I had some scars that were like heavy on my eyelids and some teeth just for like, you know, just like broken teeth stuff that looked like an a fixation thing, which was all kind of just, you know, because I just wanted to look completely different. And I think, you know, Sean's point was, well, you don't really look like a boxer, you know, and I was like, fair. So yeah, the whole point was to just do a total sort of transformation. And actually, you know, the truth is when you do restrict the calories and when you do these things, I mean, my headspace more than anything, it's really an intense psychological drama as well as it is a sports movie, because what it does to your head, I mean, the paranoia and the anger and the hunger and the feelings of like, you know, discombobulation are really real. In the last 2 days, I wasn't even really drinking water because I just wanted to have that really dry, weird look, you know.
And you had that. I mean, you looked awful in a good way, because that's the look you're going for.
Yeah,
I watched
yeah.
the film with my wife, and she was just looking at you going, he looks terrible. And I was like, yeah, that's great. I said, I'll tell him that when I chat to him, because he'll be really
Thank you very much.
But there are so many points of a movie where if you're a movie goer, you just like watching, or you like being entertained, you can just sit there and appreciate it. But if you're, say, a fan of boxing, you look for the little bits and you think that looks real, that looks real.
Right.
Like how you look with the weigh-in. The reason I'm asking you this question is because at the start of the film, we see you in the boxing ring and you're throwing punches and stuff.
Right.
And I think as a sports fan, it's so important for you to look the part.
Right.
How much training did you have?
I had a lot. I had 3 or 4 months prior to, so I was training in America. I got to say, I have a really huge respect for boxers. When you're a spectator and you're watching boxers, you know, you think, oh, it's just throwing a few punches. It's completely not. I mean, it's years of practice. It's years of this repetition, which teaches you, right, how to you know, how to move and how to, you know, bob and weave and all of it, and the footwork, and it's a real art. I have a massive respect for boxers. Anyway, but like, always have had. But like, post this, I was like, the training was really hard. That sequence, we actually filmed that sequence at the 3 months after the movie because we had a piece in the film to begin with, but it was just it didn't really make sense. It was confusing, of a boxer who takes a blow and doesn't get off the mat, because, you know, that there are stories of people cutting weight, getting down to it, dehydrating, and then not doing the rehydration correctly, or getting the, and you know, it's like, it can be really dangerous. So, you know, we sort of went back, and so we filmed that sequence, and it's like the young boxer in his heyday sort of thing. So we try to make me look, you know, slightly different with the hair and stuff like that. But we did try a ball cap with the hair.
How'd you look with it?
Because the hair, funny. But we also thought, you know, actually there was a story in UFC of a woman who like didn't make weight, went behind, cut all her hair off, and then made weight. So it's
fine.
It's
fine.
And of course, you know, Eubank's son, right? He just got fined, didn't he, for that? And that's brutal, because he's trying to make a crazy weight cut that, you know, is like, it's a sort of dark art in a way, and it's not really talked about that much, partly because of that. And we're not sort of doing a great reveal, but for the purposes of the movie, we just take it to that extreme for people to understand the sort of psychic thing. I mean, the psychological trauma as well. I mean, I think when you think about, you know, the flashbacks of the boxer, you can see fighters are a particular breed, right? You know, I think it was wasn't it? David Bowie said can I swear?
You can say whatever you like.
David Bowie goes, they up your mum and dad, don't they? So it's sort of like, famously he said that. There's a clip of him, and I think, you know, when you look at what it takes, the mental kind of fortitude for athletes, but it's also a commentary on body dysmorphia, on, you know, on a bit about the masculine, and about what it, you know, the look and the whole thing, you know, because he's a guy who's, you know, obviously struggled with weight stuff. And I think there are plenty of fighters do, and then they have to cut weight to get into the ring. They can be great fighters, but then they got to cut the weight, and that can be the biggest battle. And for many fighters it is, and that's something that we wanted to show as a fresh take on a movie genre that's been done so well. I mean, Raging Bull, one of my favorite movies, you know.
Yeah.
And
it's so tough to do a boxing movie, but to find a new angle, which of course you've done. And you co-producer on it?
yeah, I produced it with Mark. He sort of brought this idea, and we sort of developed it together. And then, you know, we made that movie for a shoestring. I mean, we got Sean Ellis, and who's the director, who I'm a huge fan of, and you know, Metro Manila was a fantastic movie, and all of his movies. But you know, I think he saw it and thought, oh, that's a really, you know, unique way to do a boxing movie, and he'd always wanted to do that. He's a bit of a boxer himself, has been a boxer in his life, and he was up for it. And thankfully he's a DOP, right? So he's comes from photography as well. So the amazing thing is this movie was made for virtually nothing, but we were in just a handful of locations, but you never feel that you're in the same place twice because of how he shot it, with the lighting and the way that it all works, which, you know, I think's another cool thing about doing a small British movie, you know.
It's so difficult to make a boxing movie look like a boxing movie that's never been made before.
Yeah.
And the angle that you came in at, I thought it was great, because I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's
that was,
I'm guessing why
that was why, you know. And for me, I'm very physical anyway, both as an actor and just in life. I had a really bad injury when I was in my 20s and had to take care of myself physically in order to just navigate that, and now I'm fine. You know?
Is sports maybe an angle that you want to go down? Because I know you're sort of Manchest United fan.
Yeah.
When you're on the move to watch Man United.
Yeah. Well, my neighbours, the McAvoys, I had this Irish family growing up, and the dad was a big Man U fan, so we'd always watch all the games and stuff at home on the telly, and I didn't actually get to a game, which would have been fun, but as a kid, but I mean, Man U was always the team because I grew up with them, you know, and
would you
hard to follow.
Would you like to maybe play a footballer? If you were going to play Manchester United, who would it be?
Oh my God. I mean, that's a good question. I'd look too weird for Rooney, wouldn't I? But Rooney was such a character.
You definitely need to shave the hair, right? What about Beckham? I can see
Beckham.
Yeah,
come on, bend it like Beckham. Yeah, David's a great. What a guy. But I mean, I think what a story Beckham had, but has life. But I mean, I think I've always I'm very physical, and I think weirdly, I played rugby as a kid as well, and that was sort of something I really loved. I think if I'd been encouraged more, I think like sports would have been a very cool angle for me in some ways. But I always wanted to be an actor.
You look like you could kick a ball.
I'm all right, but I'm more of a rugby. But I play a little bit. Yeah.
You said you'd never been to Old Trafford?
I know.
Man, I'm sure you saying that now, someone's going to say, right, let's go.
I'll be there in a heartbeat.
Would you like to do that?
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? I mean, I think it's like church, isn't it? I actually miss it. I think that part of it is it's a community. It's something that, like, you know, I mean, you know, men can get together, everyone, fans of the sport, families. It's like worshipping in a church.
Yeah.
It sort of has that magical feeling, and that's something that brings, you know, countries together. I mean, I watch all the big games that, you know, the UK. I mean, when the World Cup comes along, it's like the whole country comes together. I think that's something that only football can do, you know.
Maybe we need to make a World Cup movie,
right,
and just change the outcome ever so slightly, where we win it.
Yeah, there you
go. For the first
back to it, yeah.
I think that would be quite nice.
Maybe we have to go back a few years and do it.
Yeah, do a remake. I mean, I don't know maybe Bobby Charlton.
There you go. There you go. You've got a good head of hair, haven't you?
I've got a great head of hair.
Yeah, you do.
Yours isn't too bad either. Listen, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting about your new movie.
Taking the time.
It looks
September 5th. Go and see it in the theatres. September the 5th.
And it is like, I'm not just saying
England and Ireland.
Here, it's like a boxing movie you've never seen before.
Yeah,
right?
and it's definitely like. It's definitely, you've never seen me like this, but you've never seen a boxing movie like this. I don't think you've seen a movie like this, honestly. It's like a real psychological, physical drama, and it's a unique take on a genre that I'm a fan of. So hopefully people will go out and see it.
They will. Good luck.
See it in the movies.
It's always tradition. It's always tradition. My guest, whoever they are,
right,
to just lift up and show their six pack at the end of an interview. You still have one? You look like... Oh, don't... Oh, that is so... How old are you? You're 48?
There you go.
And
Not bad. Not bad.
Can you superimpose mine on if I do the same?
Not bad.
It's not bad.
I can't believe
is
it.
I need something.
I actually try to keep myself not too. Like I think I'm not. I don't keep it too dry and tight because it's too much.
Do you drink at all?
Not much. No. I mean, I don't like a little bit beer.
Oh, see, beer I blow. I look like I'm pregnant.
I can have a little bit, and I like
so annoying.
There's a couple of good beers.
Were you like that before the film?
Yeah, I'm always. I was really before the film. I'm like, I was like. I mean, this is probably 13. Like if we're talking numbers, probably 13%. But like in the movie, I think I was probably about 3%, 2 or 3%.
Do you want 20%? Do you want to stop this for the day?
But it's like, yeah, no, I just keep fit for health and...
You have to, right? Your movie stuff.
It's good for mental health too.
You have to. A real pleasure. Thank you so much, man.
Bless you.
Good luck with it.
Thank you very much.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.